So last week, Senator Joe Manchin declared his opposition for the For the People Act. And this caused a lot of outrage among West Virginians because a major coal miners group, the United Coal Work Miners of America, supports this bill, and 2/3 of West Virginians support this bill. So he got a lot of backlash for this. And Reverend William Barber organized a protest on Monday to march against Joe Manchin. Take a look at what he had to say at that protest.
The people here in this state, the coal miners are just as high as the people in the hood. The nurses are just as high as the teachers. And what they're saying is, look, he's serving the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and not the U.S. Constitution. And by filibustering, he's blocking the things that this state needs. He's standing against his own state. They didn't send him here, send him there for that, send him to the Senate for that. And they are coming to D.C., Joy. Let me tell you, when you look at this state, you're right. It's one of the poorest states in the nation. But it also, West Virginia has a history. They split from Virginia because they didn't want to be like the rest of the South. And what they're saying is, do right by us in this state. Why would a senator from West Virginia have his office in the Lotto building? Maybe it's because he's gambling with people's health care. He's gambling with people's living wages. He's gambling with people's voting rights. Why would a senator from West Virginia stand against $15 in a union? Why would he stand against universal health care? Why would he join and encourage the West Virginia legislature in their passing of restrictive voting laws? Because when you suppress the vote, guess what? You hurt poor folk in the mountains. You hurt black folk in the city. You hurt everybody. This is not about Democrat versus Republican and left versus right and conservative versus liberal. This is about right versus wrong.
Yeah.
This is a moral issue, a constitutional issue, and we're going to stand and fight against it.
Bishop William
Even
Barber
if we got to go to
in
jail,
West.
Joe, we might do a little we might do some nonviolent sit-ins in his office. The people here are ready to go. They say you do not mess with mountaineers. That's the last thing you do is mess with mountaineers, and they are together.
Okay.
Am I right, mountaineers?
We can hear y'all. We hear y'all. Thank you very much, Bishop William Barber.
Now, first of all, I'm glad that they did this because we need to make our politicians, especially Joe Manchin, Kirsten Sinema, those corporate Democrat types, feel uncomfortable, and we need to force them to vote the way that they should be voting, the way that would help working class people and not their donors. Now, that rolls into my answer to William Barber's question: why did Joe Manchin vote against Medicare for all, etc., etc.? Because he's bought off. Like with the People Act, he got paid. Oh no, I'm against the For the People Act now. Even though I supported legislation like that like 2 years ago, he's bought off. Whatever his donors say, he does. Joe Manchin is about money, money, and money. Money first, the people last. Joe Manchin's a corporate politician. That's how he is. And second of all, William Barber should do a sit-in. Make Joe Manchin uncomfortable. Make him feel the people's will and make him vote for the People Act. This is the reason Joe Manchin is in office, to serve the people. And if he's not serving it, they should tell him and make him feel uncomfortable and force him to vote the way that he should be voting. Now, I really do hope that the Mountaineers are successful in pushing him. I do. And I also am calling on progressive politicians to also pressure Joe Manchin. Jamal Bowman's been doing a great job on that front, saying that saying strong criticisms of Joe Manchin. I think all of our progressive politicians should be doing that. We need Joe Manchin to ultimately be forced to bend to our will. We need progressives everywhere to pressure him to attack peacefully. And we need our politicians to say, hey Joe, listen, these are popular, and if you don't support these, you're gonna lose. And all that sweet donor money you'd get from being in office, gone, because you're not gonna be in office anymore. No office, no power for Joe Manchin. So either vote for the bill or you're done for. We should be saying, all progressives should be saying, hey Joe, if you don't vote for the For the People Act, or, i.e. any other progressive legislation, we will support your primary challenger, because there's a small but very mighty progressive movement in Georgia, in West Virginia. You've seen it, Paula Jean Swearingen, Kathy Kunkel. You've seen it with those two. They've gotten tens of thousands of voters to vote for them. I'm sure many more voters could be persuaded, because West Virginians are tired of a senator who is not serving them and is serving corporations.